Hello guys, it's Derek, and I want to talk about my thoughts on the spring RTA season. Overall, I think it was not as bad as last season in terms of RNG, but I think it's been one of the worst seasons so far. As you can see, uh, the overall score of players is down significant, and I ended rank 55. And as you see, there's a lot of people basically sitting around the same points, and a lot of them either played the last day or they preemptively sat at this position like I did. And I think a lot of these players, including myself, uh, like the games they played until the last week didn't really matter except for rank like these ranks. And then when you look at it, it's it just feels very uncompetitive, at least in my eyes, where we have players basically just ensuring their rank before the last day, and there's players only playing on the last day to ensure their ranks. I don't like that whole system, as well as I really don't like the fact that for majority of players the go-to strategy was to farm worse players like myself, like what I was doing, where my win rate against legend players wasn't that great. My win rate against emperors was okay. I was around 60% plus, but and then like warlords were farmed, and like that was mainly the strategy where you play something like revivers plus your hardcore like uncounterable DPS on three like Freyrin, and I think that was not really something that you want to see in a game that's supposed to be competitively viable. The developers, like, not to hate on them, but they have done a very terrible job at balancing the game over the past year, and we've had a state of basically characters being undeniably broken. And if you showed it to any person who's played Epic 7 and maybe quit a year or two ago, they would look at these characters and say, this can't be real. This has to be fake because this doesn't even seem like anything can beat it other than maybe one or two characters, and that's kind of how the game is right now. And I really dislike the fact that Ruel has basically like the most bullshit mechanic of reviving, but then you also have Cleave, which with Briar, which is Zarya, is just bullshit. There's no way to fight it if they have enough damage to kill your characters, and the current way to survive damage in the game is revives because bulking down is not really that viable. And then also compared with the fact that with the ongoing trend of making speed almost 100% a necessity to play higher ranks, unless you just have incredibly good gear for tank down and you're able to just stat check the lower tier cleavers, as well as being able to at least, excuse me, play against players who don't want to speed up as well, so you'll be kind of like evenly matched with a like sub 300 speed openers, which is like a lot of the game, but the other half is just people just going for turn one, and a lot of the time, if you're not spending money on this game, you are not going to be able to contest, and it feels really bad overall. Like, speed is king, and it's going to be king for a while. And with the New Balance patch, I really disliked a lot of the things with the New Balance patch. I don't think it addresses a lot of the problems with the game, and it really doesn't add much flavor outside of the fact that turn 2 is basically just not going to be as playable as it was before. A lot of the characters getting buffed counter turn 2, not really anything to say, beat Briar Witch's area cleave, to beat Commander Pavel, to beat Freyrin cleave. It's more about just like the players who want to just say like, I know I'm slow, I'm going to tank down and try to tank it. Like, too much, the damage increase on almost everything across the board is very not cool in my opinion. And then we have Notos coming out, and I think Notos is going to be one of the strongest characters that it will actually shake up the meta for good or worse. I mean, it's going to be a breath of fresh air to not see Ruel as picker ban. It's going to be a fresh of air for a lot of buff characters. Like, being able to remove buffs is going to be nice. Being able to basically cleanse debuffs as a pseudo cleanser will be nice. And I would like to see where No Twist takes us. I think it's not healthy for the game, his kit, but also at the same time, I don't think it's going to be entirely detrimental if they at least fix the issues afterwards with nerfs. But we most likely won't see nerfs, and we will end up having maybe something even more absurd than Notus's mechanics. But that's kind of my whole thoughts about RTA over the past couple months of going for Legend for the first time ever. Uh, if you have any other opinions or differing opinions, you can drop it in the comments below, and I can give my thoughts on it and why I may disagree or agree. See you guys later.